Welcome to Seniors on the Move. I'm glad you're back. We've got a really important show for today, so just listen carefully. We have a wonderful guest. She's from Senior Helpers, and we have 1,000 questions for her also. Her name is Rosca Sasu. Did I say that correctly?
You got that correct.
She's owner of Senior Helpers of Worcester. She holds an MBA from Quinnipiac University in Connecticut and a Healthcare Economics Certificate from Harvard Business School online. Her extensive healthcare background, and it really is, because we just talked about that, it includes a 7-year tenure here at UMass with ACO. What is ACO?
The Accountable Care Organization.
Okie doke. Team, doing quality performance improvement, very important. Subsequently, Rosca worked at United Healthcare within their Senior Care Options Plan as a quality consultant and later served as a senior manager of the Health Policy Commission for the state. So I think you know what you're doing, Rosca. What sets you apart? What sets Senior Helpers apart from other organizations?
So I think what sets me apart, Senior Helpers apart, and then even from personally, with the background that you just wrote, I've been in the healthcare space for a little bit, and so senior care too is very important to me. While I was in school, I did this job taking care of seniors over the weekend.
Oh, perfect.
And so the passion actually grew from there. And so combining my background with the passion, and I was looking for that company that's going to be a game changer, bring some innovation into senior care, and also empower their caregivers to be proud about what they do. And I think with the tools that we have, we are different in that realm. We train our caregivers, give them the tools to feel like, they have every situation under control when it comes to senior care. And that's what we try to push. My passion, my background, makes me understand that, I can provide something in this space. And
That's wonderful. Do you have grandparents that are still alive?
I don't have grandparents that are still alive. Yes, but I took care of my grandparents before when they were sick. And so I think maybe that's where even the whole thing started from, making sure you're providing the right care.
They would be proud of you. As far as caregiver training, I think that's important. I'd like to feel that someone that's taking care of me knows what they're doing and has had really good training. Could you explain it?
So for our caregivers, and again, I always go back to when I was a caregiver, and I'm like, if I had any of this information or any of these tools, I think things would have been different, you know? So one of the things that we do, we call something our Senior GEMS program, and this is a program that we take our caregivers through to be comfortable with taking care of patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. We know that when you put a body in somebody's home, somebody with dementia for 8 hours, 12 hours, it is very challenging. But you can empower that individual when they have the right tools, they know what to do at any particular stage. And so Senior Helpers has a Senior GEMS program that they develop with Teepa Snow. And I know people in the physical therapy area are very comfortable and they know this name. So we developed the Senior GEMS program where we take the caregiver through every stage of the disease and techniques to apply, what to do, what will work and what will not work. And so we have something we call the wheel that caregivers have in their hands so they can see the characteristics and they can see, what do I apply at this stage? What can I not do? Where are they, in the progression of the disease? And what are the things that can aggravate the disease or make things worse? What are some of the things I should avoid? So we make sure caregivers have all these tools in their hands. I wish I had that when I was a caregiver. But they have all these tools in their hands to be able to make the right decision whenever they are confronted with a challenge while taking care of seniors. One thing that we also have, which is only Senior Helpers that have this, is our Center of Excellence. So the Center of Excellence is actually, we've staged a part of our office to be a senior's home. And so when caregivers come for training, we are able, together with our online video trainings, we're able to assess their skills. Somebody can come in and have the certification like a home health aide or a CNA, but even before we put you in a client's home, we want to assess your skills and make sure that you can perform the skills. You know how to transfer a patient safely. So together with our online videos and our training programs, we are able to also physically see what they can do and make corrections if something is not right. So we stage the place like a senior's home with the necessary equipment. We have the walkers and the wheelchairs, we have the hospital bed and the commode and everything so that we can train our caregivers caregivers. So they get that hands-on training. Only Senior Helpers has a center of excellence that can assess skills right there when the caregiver comes in for training. And besides that, we have Parkinson's care program. We have different programs going on, online programs that we assign to our caregivers to do before they even go into a client's home. So that's one area that I'm passionate about, making sure that the caregivers have the tools to empower them to do their work and feel this is my career. I can make a difference in somebody's life. So
wow, that's wonderful.
I'm very vested in that.
So many challenges with aging, and it's an aging society. Let's face it. So let's stay as healthy as we can and get the best care that we can get. I wrote down here, explain a better assessment when you assess someone.
When you assess someone. So my experience in the past is that sometimes you go to a client's home, you learn about their condition, you look around and you're like, okay, we can put somebody in here to help your mom get around, to help your dad get around for 8 hours a day, 3 hours a day, or 12 hours a day, or overnight, or 24-hour care. People put it in there. And I feel like sometimes families get to the point where maybe they cannot even afford the care or all these hours, but because the care is needed, they are put in a situation where they cannot really figure out what to do in that situation. So I told you about a distinctive feature of our company, which is our life profile assessment tool. So the life profile assessment tool enables us to look at 144 safety risks.
Oh my God.
Yes, in the client's home. It helps us to assess the senior's independence, their quality of life, and also to evaluate the burden of care on families. So once we come to the patient's home and we're doing the assessment, this is an electronic platform. I call it a Senior Helpers electronic health record. It's not really a health record, but then we put in all this information, look at the environment. What is a safety hazard? What can cause a fall or make this patient return back to the hospital in 6 months? So we put all the data into the system, and the system is able to give us areas that are high risk. So this will influence our decision in how we carve out a care plan, how we specialize and customize care for that particular individual. And let's say the family cannot afford 12 hours or 24-hour care. Then we go back to the table like, okay, let's see the highest risk areas. And the system guides us throughout the whole process. So it takes all the guesswork out of it. So maybe mom is at high risk when she wakes up in the morning or going into the shower. How about we put a caregiver here at these particular hours? At this time, there's somebody there, or you can check on mom, or, she's going to be safer. And then in the evening, we need. So it helps us and guides us how we can customize, the care plan, how we can customize service for that particular individual, and also help the family know that at the highest risk areas and times in the day, there is somebody there to provide that care. So that peace of mind I'm talking about. So I think Life Profile enables us to take out the guesswork. It helps us to come up with a better assessment for the client so we can customize care and provide the right care at the right time when it's needed.
That's wonderful. Sounds very complicated. Respite care. Talk about respite care, what it entails and so forth.
So for us, I remember during the holidays, we got a few calls from people who wanted to go and see their kids who are in other states, and they were leaving their spouses behind or their parents behind, and they cannot be there for them. And so for that time that the primary caregiver is going, they were like, can we have a body here? Can we have somebody here who can make sure our family members or our parents are taken care of? And so we're going to be there. It might not be like a very long term in providing services, but then so that you have your peace of mind to be able to go and do what you have to do, we are going to be there. There are times where the family member wants a break. You want to go have coffee with your girls, and you're taking care of your partner, your spouse, or your parents, and you cannot be there.
It's really important.
Very important. We're going to be there. And so, and as part of it, I think one other thing we have, which I will add to this, is our Wellness Watch. So the Wellness Watch, it's so you have parents who live around this area. We have parents who live here, and you are maybe in California or in another state. You're like, my parents are very independent. They're very good. But once in a while, maybe once a week, I want you to pop in and see how they're doing, make sure everything is safe. And we can just pop in. It's probably just an hour visit that we can do that. So we're going to be your eyes here while you are there, and we'll be able to provide you with.
I never thought of that.
That's actually a very, very good service that we provide that is helping a lot of families. And so that we call it the Wellness Watch. We're just going to pop in, make sure they're fine, everything is okay, they don't need any help, and we'll give you the update and the progress. And we look out for other things as well that somebody else will not see, with regards to their safety at home. So
All right.
the mission is to make sure that, they are aging safely at a place where they call home or familiar environment, and they're good.
That's wonderful. What about hospice care? What is your involvement with that?
So for hospice care, we have other partners who provide hospice service. We do not provide direct hospice service, but if a patient is in hospice and, the nurses come in and go, they pop in, do what they have to do and go, but the family is looking for somebody who's going to stay with that patient or stay with that client, throughout the night in case something comes up and the nurses are not there,
Sure.
or those eyes that will be on the patient and notify the nurses if something goes wrong or there is a change. That's where we come in there. So we can sit with the patient, we can provide, the other personal care, non-medical personal care that the patient needs while the nurses are in and out, or even provide progress notes and updates to the nurses while they are away. So we're heavily involved in hospice care, and we work with these hospice companies to be able to provide that care at the end of life.
Is there anything that you're not involved with as far as care for seniors? I mean, you're a resource. You're a resource.
We are a resource, exactly. I remember
yeah.
last week we got a few calls from people who were just looking for help, and we're like, we are helpers. That is what we do. We want to make sure our seniors in the community are taken care of. So they call us for everything with regards to, and then we have to make sure we keep a running list of like resources too that we can direct them to, because we don't want a senior to call us for help and we'll be like, we don't know. So we are just there for cleaners, whatever they call us, to see what they can get from us. So we keep a running list of resources in the community.
One thing that I've thought about quite a bit, after surgery, if someone is living alone, how are they going to take care of themselves? So you do that kind of thing too.
Right.
Can you talk about it a little bit, what you would do, what kind of care that is?
Yes. So we realize that when people go into the hospital or the rehab for a while, it's very hard for them to come back and get back into the normal way of doing things, and conditions change. And so they need that person who is there who's going to make sure they're safe, avoid any falls, make sure, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Normally you come home with a nurse who will come in, do an assessment and go. After that, after a while they say goodbye to you, but we will not just come in and watch you and go. We are going to be there with you throughout the whole process. Things that you can do to strengthen yourself, daily exercises, nothing serious, but, whatever is prescribed for you to do. And so when people come back home from surgery, they probably might be in a wheelchair, and that might be very new to them. So we help them get comfortable. Before they go home, we can actually work with the discharge nurses and work with the discharge planners. And so go to the home, assess the home, see what is going to be a risk. A lot of people come home with something they did not take in, maybe a walker or a cane or a wheelchair, and all this is very, very new to them. But our goal is to be there to make sure they're comfortable in using these things to be safe, make sure the environment is safe. One thing you might not think of is like you go to somebody's beautiful home with like nice rugs and stuff on the floor and chairs, very nicely decorated. But then when you're coming home with a wheelchair, you need all the space, or with a walker, you need all the space. We need to get some of these rugs from the floor so you don't trip. And so all those things that other people will not see, we will go there and make sure the environment is safe for you to come in there.
So you would practice falls prevention in that case.
Exactly.
Moving things around for them and that kind of thing.
Yes, making sure the whole place is safe for whatever equipment you're bringing in with, and even when you get back home from surgery, getting back in the tub and going to take a shower might be, a little scary. So we're going to be there, every step of the way to make sure you get back and seamlessly get back in the community where you were without any fears of falls or going back to the hospital. And that's where senior helpers come in. We're just going to be there every step of the way.
Oh, sounds like a lot of training. I'm looking at some of these things I wanted to ask you, but you've already answered some questions. So as far as your services offered, have you been through all of them? Have we talked about all of them? Whatever you want to say, I want you to get the word out because it sounds like a wonderful organization.
Right. So yeah, we talked about personal care. We help with bathing, dressing, grooming. We talk about all that. Yes. As we age, we want to make sure that you are safe in doing all these things, and if you need assistance or even you need supervision while you're doing it, so that you don't fall. We're going to be there. Personal care. We talked about, a specialized care for people with chronic conditions, somebody with diabetes or hypertension. We want to make sure if the doctor wants you to take your blood pressure every day, we want to make sure you're taking it and recording it. So when you're going for your next appointment, you have it with you. We also want to make sure that the family or the client knows when the parameters are above the normal parameters and what to do. So maybe you have your blood pressure, you're like, anytime, the blood pressure is above 140 over 90, call the PCP. So we make sure that when you take it and we are there and we see it, we prompt the family or we prompt the client to be able to take the next step on what to do. So we do a lot of education around that. We want to make sure you're staying on top of managing your chronic conditions. We talked about, the surgery assistance. We talked about respite care. We talked about wellness watch. Yeah. So anything a senior would need to be able to age safely in place, be comfortable in their own home, and not go back to the hospital, we are going to be there as senior helpers to help them through it.
How is the PCP involved in this, the personal care physician?
So normally,
do you need permission? Do you have contact with them to find out exactly what they need and so forth?
So for the most part, when they come in from the hospital, it's the discharge nurses or discharge planners that we work with.
Yeah.
When a person is home and the family realizes that mom might need a little bit of help or assistance in some areas, they talk to the primary care, and if the family gives us the permission to do that, we will gather the data that we have and share with the primary care and say that this is what we saw at home, and these are some of the changes we can do. For some DMEs or durable medical equipment that we might need in the patient's home, sometimes the PCP has to authorize that. And so we work with them to make sure that the client has the right equipment at home and the right things. And we share the data with them. You see, oh, he's doing very well now. They can do this and do that, so that they're also up to date with regards to, their quality of care and their strengthening and everything. So we work with everybody. We are part of that care team.
I guess so. Wow, this is amazing. How many people do you have training these new folks, people that are coming in to get a job and work with seniors?
So for the most part, the home health aides and the CNAs already have some kind of training before they got their certification.
Well, that's great, yeah.
So they normally know this, but what will make us also feel confident they know is our skill assessment. So making sure that our center of excellence is assessing those skills that they say they have. And so we have, when people come in that want to do companion and, they don't have the certification of the skills, I think the mass.gov website also has some free programs they can go through. Together with our own online programs, we make sure that they do these programs and also come in office to get their skills assessed before they are put in the client's
Time
home.
is really going fast, but no, we have a few more minutes. But how would we get in touch with you?
We are in Worcester. We are located on 405 Grove Street, Suite 303 in Worcester, Massachusetts, 01605. So that's where we are located. You can also reach us via phone. Our number is 508-429-4909. Sorry. All right. 508-425-4909. We have different numbers.
How do you remember all that?
The main number is 508-425-4909. And you can also check us out at our website.
Your website?
Yes, www.seniorhelpers.com/MA/Worcester.
This is
Seniorhelpers.com/MA/Worcester.
Just for the record, what is the difference between home health and home care?
Interesting question.
What is the difference? I'm glad I wrote that down.
Right. Yeah, so normally home health agencies can provide some clinical care, like wound care, medication management, things that nurses can provide.
Okay.
Yes, and they normally hire nurses, though they have CNA, certified nurses assistants as well. For home care, we want patients to be safe. So mostly we are non-clinical medical care. And so we do those personal care, companion, things like that. So for home care companies, we provide non-clinical care, like Senior Helpers Home Care, non-clinical care for patients. But home health can provide some sort of like skilled clinical care, wound care, or nurses who manage medication. We cannot manage your medication. We cannot, fill out your medication for you, but we can remind patients to take their medication and make sure they are following their medication regimen. But home health can do medication management where they are filling up the pill boxes and making sure that. So we work together with them.
Big responsibility.
It is.
Big. How many years, how long has this been going, this Senior Helpers?
Oh, Senior Helpers has been in establishment since 2002. We're a national company all over the nation.
See, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay.
We have a pretty deep footprint in Massachusetts as well. So we have offices all over. And even in areas where there's not a senior helper's office, there's an office close by to be able to service that area. So.
And what are you looking at, for people to train? What type of person would you look for,
For caregivers, you mean?
Yeah, to do anything at home. Yeah.
Yes, so like I said, our Center of Excellence is our go-to place, for caregivers who have home health aid certification, senior needs certification. Mostly we call them all the time to come in and, we assess their skills so we can work with them. We look for people who are passionate about taking care of the seniors because, that's where this whole thing was born, out of passion.
Sure.
And so we make sure that, our caregivers are well trained. We make sure they have the passion for this job. And we also want to make sure that, they're ready to learn and take on, the tools that we are ready to put in their hands to be able to do an amazing job with seniors. So, we're calling like anybody with a passion to take care of seniors to come and join our team.
Okay. And what about age? Is there age preference? Young people, any age, just as long as they've had the experience?
Young people with experience, adults, and people who can work in the United States, obviously, so.
What if someone had no experience at all and just wanted to do something?
So
what would you suggest for them, if anything?
Yes, if they have the passion for it, we are more than happy to take them through our training. So we have an online platform. We use the Relias platform where we have a lot of training. And also out of life profile, we have trainings that we can take them through. So they learn these skills online and also come over into a Center of Excellence for us to assess the skills. And we also work with other agencies that provide home health aid and CNA training programs that we can refer them to. So they can also get certified and be skilled in this area.
That's great. Is there anything else at all? We have about 5 minutes left.
So, besides all this great services that we give to community, yes, we give to seniors. One other mission-driven thing is that we want to just care for seniors in our community. And so any avenue for us to reach out to seniors, like work with the senior centers, work with, any place where they take care of seniors, any way that we can help, we want to take care of seniors in our community. And Senior Helpers is the right place to go when you're looking for that peace of mind that you want that assurance that somebody's taking good care of your parents or your loved one. Senior Helpers is a place to go. So we are open to talk to families, to talk to, health systems about the care that we provide, the wonderful care that we provide for the community, and work hand in hand with people who passionately care about seniors.
That's wonderful. I'd like you to give your website again and your phone number, please, if you'd go ahead and do that.
Yes, so you can reach us out. Our number is 508-425-4909. 508-425-4909.
Got it.
And our website is www.seniorhelpers.com/MA/Worcester.
/MA/Worcester. All
yes.
right. Well, this has been very enlightening and much needed.
Much needed.
And maybe I'll just come and visit you someday. And
I want to see you, Karen.
See what
I
you're doing.
I want to see you.
There.
Yes, come and see your place.
Do your helpers wear a uniform?
They do wear a T-shirt. So you see the Senior Helpers right there. Yes.
Do you have to wear the royal blue skirt? Because I love that.
We have blue T-shirts as well. So, but they wear our uniform, so you can see the Senior Helpers right there, and you can just tell that person is a helper.
That's
from
great.
How they deliver services.
It's
exceptional
such
caregivers.
A pleasure, to have you here.
Thank you, Karen.
And I mean it. Anything else you'd like to say? Say it now. I know it's difficult. When we leave, we say, darn it, I should have said that. I knew I should have said that. But, do look into this. It sounds great, and there's such a need. And I want to thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time with some more vital information for you. Thank you again, my dear.
Thank you so much,
A pleasure
Karen.
to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.